Then I began to find the strange signatures.
One of the strangest signatures belonged to the bank vice president who'd signed Simoniak's newly discovered mortgage documents. The name is Linda Green, but on thousands of other mortgages, the style of Green's signature changed a lot. And even more remarkable, Simoniak found that Linda Green was vice president of 20 banks, all at the same time.
All within the same week. I mean, this is a very, very active person.
Where did all those documents come from? We went searching for the Linda Green, and we found her in rural Georgia. She told us she's never been a bank vice president. In 2003, she was a shipping clerk for auto parts when her grandson told her about a job at a company called Docs, D-O-C-X. Docs, once housed here in Alpharetta, Georgia, was a sweatshop for forged mortgage documents.
They were sitting in a room, signing their name as fast as they possibly could to any kind of nonsense document that was put in front of them.
Docs and companies like it were recreating missing mortgage assignments for the banks and providing the legally required signatures of bank vice presidents and notaries. Linda Green says she was named a bank vice president by Docs because her name was short and easy to spell. As demand exploded, Docs needed more Linda Greens. So you're Linda Green?
Yes. Can't you tell?
Chris Pendley worked at Docs at the same time and signed as Linda Green. When you came in to Docs on your first day, what did they tell you your job was going to be?
That I was going to be signing documents for using someone else's name.
Did you think there was something strange about that at the beginning?
Yeah, it seemed a little strange, but they told us and they repeatedly told us that everything was above board and it was legal.
And your previous experience in banking?
None.
In legal documents?
None.
There really were no requirements for the job.
Correct.
You had to be able to hold a pen.
Hold a pen.
But you were signing these documents as if you were an officer of the bank.
Correct.
How many banks were you vice president of in a given day?
I would guess somewhere around 5 to 6.
What were you getting paid for this?
I'm embarrassed to say. $10 an hour.
$10 an hour, that's not much for a guy who's vice president of 5 banks.
Yeah, I was very underpaid for my status in the companies.
Pendley showed us how he signed mortgage documents as Linda Green. He told us that Docs employees had to sign at least $350 an hour. Pendley estimates that he alone did 4,000 a day. This is also Linda Green. Shawana Kreit worked at Docs and says that she both signed and notarized the mortgage documents. What was the role of the notary?
We were to make sure that everyone on the document was who they said they were and notarized the documents.
But the people who were signing the documents weren't who they said they were.
Right.
So if Chris Pendley was signing for Linda Green, you'd notarize that document?
Yes.
And you were told that was okay?
Yes.
What do you know now?
That it wasn't right.
The real Linda Green didn't want to be interviewed, but she said that some of the bank vice presidents at Docs were high school kids. Their signatures were entered into evidence in untold thousands of foreclosure suits that sent families packing.
So it was a common practice in the last few years to flood the courts with these documents.
And look at some of the junk the courts were flooded with. Sometimes the document mill didn't even bother to fill in the name of the supposed owners. To them, it seemed like a joke.
Instead of the name of the bank here that was acquiring the loan, this one says bogus assignee for intervening assignments. That's who acquired this loan.
This was an actual document that was in litigation?
Yes. And what corporation assigned this loan? A corporation identified as a bad beanie. Excuse me, when I saw that, I was just absolutely amazed.
What does that mean, a bad beanie?
It could possibly mean a bad beneficiary. I have no idea what they meant. So here's the same woman, Linda Green, and this time, instead of being a vice president of American Home Mortgage Servicing, she's vice president of a bad beanie.
Simoniak says that the banks whose paperwork was handled by the Docs forgery mill